first domino has fallen in the Devils' offseason. What's up ahead for them? Let's talk about it. Well. Welcome back to New York Sports WickerMedia. I'm WatchUK99. Thank you, as always, for taking the time to watch these videos. If you're brand new, welcome aboard. Please like and subscribe. If you're returning, welcome back. Please like. I appreciate your time and your support. So, I didn't know I was going to talk about hockey in the middle of June. I mean, as far as the Stanley Cup Finals go, I mean, Vegas and the Panthers are in a pretty good series right now. Vegas leads that series 2-1, Game 4 coming up in Florida. But a domino fell in the New Jersey Devils offseason. Now, it's important to know that going into this offseason, greatest season as the Devils had, no question about it. And for those of you who know me, you know I'm not a Devils fan, but I really want to be objective here. I really do. As good a season as they had, overachieving expectations, making the second round of the playoffs for the first time in 10 years, they still have 14 free agents this season. Okay, that's over half their roster. And as a matter of fact, only 5 forwards are under contract going into next season. So Tom Fitzgerald and the rest of the Devils front office, they have a lot of work to do. And they didn't wait for the finals to end before making their first move. They traded their defenseman, Damon Severson. They traded him to the Columbus Blue Jackets in a sign and trade for a third-round pick from Columbus. Now, the reason they did a sign and trade is because Severson was going to be an unrestricted free agent, one of 6 that the Devils have. We're going to get to all of them. So only his own team was allowed to offer him an 8th year on the contract. That's why they did a sign and trade. So Columbus now has him. Columbus has really not wasted any time rebuilding their defense. They got Ivan Provorov, who I like a lot, from Philadelphia, and they got Severson as well. And then they give Severson an 8-year contract worth $6.25 million a year. This guy's getting $50 million. I mean, good defenseman. Severson was drafted 60th overall in 2012. He's played 9 years with New Jersey, the longest tenured Devil. And, not really a great point producer. He's got 263 points in 647 games. And last year, he totaled 33 points and played about 20 minutes per game. His ice time actually started to decrease a little bit in New Jersey for the first time. It was his first time playing less than 20 minutes per game in 5 years. So now, even though the Devils had a really good season, this is a concession. There's no guarantee of success next year because they're going to be turning over a little bit of this roster. Now, it opens up questions on the right side of their defense, but I want to focus right now on the salary cap situation, what they have to work with. Now, they have $49.5 million in player contracts that they're committed to for 23-24. The cap is at 83.5. So basically, they've got $34 million to work with the salary cap. And as I've already mentioned, they have just 5 forwards under contract. Now, there's some really good ones, Jack Hughes, Nico Hischier, and the like. But there are, and also you can throw in Dougie Hamilton on defense. But they have to make some big decisions. So if we look at the free agents right now, as far as unrestricteds go, there were 6, now there are 5. Damon Severson was an unrestricted free agent. He's now off to Columbus, so he's off the table. So as far as a UFA goes, you've got Thomas Tatar, the forward. You've got mileswood, another forward. Erikhaula, ryangraves, the defenseman, and a goalie, Jonathan Bernier. Now, I would expect Bernier to be gone. He didn't even factor into the equation, really, for most of the season. Tatar, I feel like could go either way. Personally, I would like to see mileswood return because, he does take quite a few penalties. I mean, good feisty player. But, I felt like every time mileswood was on the ice, he might take a penalty. Erikhaula, who the Devils acquired in exchange for Pavel Zacha, I would expect him to return more than any other unrestricted free agent. He's made it very well known. He wants to be in New Jersey. He really likes it there. I would expect him to stay. I think one of the big decisions here is Ryan Graves. I've been a Graves fan for a while. I mean, he was a Ranger for a short period of time. Rangers gave him away in a dumb trade. And since then, he's gone on to become a very good defenseman, more of a defensive-minded player. Usually has good plus-minus. Good, just a good, solid, steady defenseman that every team really needs. Not flashy, but reliable. And there are too many unreliable defensemen in the NHL nowadays. So, yeah, I think Graves is going to make a really, really big difference if he comes back or not. Now, with restricted free agents, this gets interesting, okay? You've got two really, really big decisions to make in Jesperbratt and Timomeier. Meier, of course, came over from the trade deadline for San Jose, did basically nothing in the playoffs, but is one of their more capable offensive players. Jesperbratt has established himself as really a cornerstone. He took his game up a notch this year, which made a big difference. But they are both going to need new contracts, and I could see those in the $6 to $8 million a year range very easily. Then you have Igor Sharangovich, who I feel like took a step back this year. MichaelMcleod, he was their fourth-line center. Excellent face-off player, excellent penalty killer. That's a player I would want to see on the Rangers, if the Rangers could find a way to swing that. Not that I think it would happen, but that style of player. So McLeod really should get a new contract. You've also got Jesper Boquist, Nathanbastian, third and fourth line players, but very useful pieces. Kevin Ball, young defenseman, and Mackenzie Blackwood, who looked like he was going to be the goalie for a while, but no, he has two other goalies in Schmidt and Vanacek who are ahead of him right now. So Bratt is definitely the one who I expect to be back. I think Meier probably will stay as well. I don't know how many of these guys are really good at both. I could see Blackwood possibly getting let go. I think especially with the loss of Severson, Kevin Ball will stay. But the whole point of it is this. Even though the Devils have $34 million to work with, re-signing a lot of these players, because I'm sure they're going to try to keep, of these 13 free agents, they're going to try to keep 9 or 10 of them for sure. That's going to take up a good amount of their cap space, and it's going to be very interesting to see what they wind up doing as this offseason progresses. And not only that, who can they go out and acquire? Are they comfortable with what they have in goal with Vanacek and Schmid? Are they willing to roll with that, or do they feel they have to upgrade the goalie situation from outside the organization? Well, it's going to be an interesting watch for sure. As far as the Devils go. So those are my thoughts, but what do you think? Any thoughts on who the Devils should keep, who they should let go, and do you expect this roster to look quite a bit different than what it does right now? Well, thanks everybody for watching. I'll see you right back here with more content from you know where, the Wicker Chair.